Hello everyone, Jackie Edwards here, back on a beautiful sunny day after quite a bit of storms last night. So I'm just enjoying a little flash of sunshine before it rains again. And I've been enjoying some time on Facebook because I've put what seems to be quite a polarizing post up. And I've been getting some interesting comments from people that want me to feel bad about being fat. And it makes me really think like, why is it so important for some people to that I feel bad about myself? Like what are they gaining from me feeling bad about myself? From wanting me to feel bad about myself, because I don't feel bad about myself. But why do people yeah. So I think, and I mean this comes down to like fat phobia. We've all been taught to fear and hate fat people. And it's like institutionalized, it's systemized. Like fat people do worse at work because people think they're lazy. Fat people don't get as good of jobs because people think they're lazy. Fat people aren't trusted because we're lazy, because we're fat. And we're laughed at that we don't have clothes that fit us, we don't fit in anything. Chairs aren't made for us, blah blah blah, on and on and on and on and on. And the whole system is designed to make us feel bad, to make us feel other, outcast, outside. But why? Like, why do people want us to feel bad? Why do we want people who are different from us to feel bad? And I think it all, I mean, for me, the end answer is self-love. Like when I love myself and I can truly feel like connected with that love in myself, I can see that honestly I make mistakes, like shit happens, like I'm a product of like my social and cultural conditioning and the way that I think and feel, whether I feel good about myself or bad about myself, a lot of that comes from like what I was taught to think and believe. And when I can really connect to that, I can see, well, of course, that's how other people think. So those people that want me to feel bad about myself, they're doing that because that's what they've been taught. They've been taught that fat people are bad. And that if we're not looking guilty or ashamed, or if we're looking happy, then that's not right because we're bad. And bad people shouldn't be happy and having fun because then it's glorifying fatness. Because, oh my goodness, what if somebody sees a fat person being happy and then thinks, oh my God, fat people are happy. I want to be fat so I can be happy. Like, what the fuck? What does glorifying fatness even mean? Like, is that what happens? Like, you see a fat, happy person and think, oh, in order to be happy, I need to be fat. But maybe it is. Because if you're always worried about being fat, and if you're always worried about like fitting into some like social and cultural norm, then you don't have the freedom. So when you look at me celebrating myself at whatever size I am, at however I look, and loving myself, it can make other people feel bad because they don't think they can do that. They don't think that that should be allowed. I shouldn't be allowed to be happy because I'm fat. Because if they're not allowed to be happy unless they're skinny, unless they're on a diet to be the right size, then I shouldn't get to be either. Like, I totally get it. Because that's what we've been taught to believe. That's what we've been taught to think. If you are bad, you shouldn't be happy. So if you are fat, you shouldn't be happy. If you are the wrong politics, you shouldn't be happy. If you are the wrong religion, you shouldn't be happy. Because we have to fight so hard to be happy and fit in whatever little box that we've been taught we need to fit into. You know, I have to be skinny and conservative and pretty, so I need to spend all my time working on that. And if I have to spend all my time working on that, then you should have to spend all your time working on that. And if you're not spending all your time working on that, then of course I'm going to be mad at you because I'm jealous of you. I'm not, so they're not jealous of me because I'm fat, because obviously we're all like drowning in fat phobia and nobody wants to be fat. But they're jealous of me because I can be free. I can love myself and be fat. I can love myself and wear whatever the fuck I want. I can love myself and I can swear out loud. I can love myself and be whatever religion I fucking want. I can love myself and choose whatever politics I want. I can pick and choose different parts of different political parties. Holy shit. I don't have to just believe one party line. I don't have to believe just one religion. I don't have to believe just one way of doing things. I can do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. And I can be happy doing it. Much happier than if I was stuck in my little judgmental box that I was taught to be in by rules of the patriarchy, by fatphobia, by all the other rules that are there to keep all of us small and safe. Not even safe, but keep us all small. When one of us breaks free from that, of course other people are going to attack that. Because it makes them worry. It makes them feel like the whole structure of society is falling apart. Just like, oh my God, women going to work after having children. That is when society fell apart. What the fuck? Maybe society already wasn't working because half of the population was oppressed. And by women going to work, we just started to realize that shit was fucked up. Change is hard. Seeing people that you've been taught to believe are bad as happy is hard. Like if you've been taught to hate somebody from a different religion, you've been taught that different religion is wrong and bad, and you see them like happily living their life and having success, of course you're going to be jealous of them because you've been taught that they're wrong. So bad people shouldn't be successful. Fat people shouldn't be happy. So I'm learning to feel even more deep love for the people that leave mean comments on my posts, because I understand that they are just like the product of all the systems that have taught them that they aren't good enough. So when people comment on my posts, the comments aren't a reflection of me, it's a reflection of themselves. So even those of you that like are sending me beautiful comments and beautiful words, you're not sending me those words, you're giving yourself those words. Like when you say you love my pictures, or when you say you love like my posts about confidence and loving myself, that's you loving yourself. That's you taking that in yourself. And when people comment and say, you know, I should be ashamed of myself, or I should be more respectable and cover my fat up, that's the reflection on them, not on me. That's because they don't feel like they're allowed to be free, and that they're stuck in some kind of respectability box. It's nothing to do with me. So I welcome all of those comments, because putting them out into the open and letting us kind of see what's happening, I don't think it has to be a way to divide us. I don't think we have to look at all those judgmental comments and think, oh, that person is wrong, that person's bad. That person is just a product of the society that they've been brought up in. And I want to start dismantling those. So, of course, you're allowed to speak and leave mean comments to me, or whatever comments you feel. And I will reply or not reply, whatever I'm feeling like that day. And I get to say whatever I want. But my comments are geared towards love. And I know deep down, those other people's comments are geared towards love. Most people are not like true psychopaths that don't have like any feelings or like actively want the world to like fall apart. All of us are coming from a place of doing what we think is best for the world. So when people tell me I should cover up, I shouldn't be fat, it's not coming from a place that they hate me. It's coming from a place that they think they're actually helping me. But again, we've been taught that shame and guilt are ways of changing people. Those feelings are not what make me change. When I feel shamed and guilty, I don't want to I don't want to change myself. I don't want to become a better person. I just want to wallow in shame and guilt. Whereas if I'm like feeling beautiful and amazing and loved and confident, then I can fucking do anything and be anyone. So we need to change the narrative. We need to stop looking at each other like we're all against each other, because really we all want what's best for ourselves and for the world. Like, ultimately, that's what every person wants. We just have different ways of seeing how we think that should happen. Just like, all people, whether you're on this political party or that political party, we want what's best for the world, and we think that our way is right, and they think that their way is right, because that's what we've been taught to think. And that's what we've been raised to think, and that's how our ideas come about. It doesn't mean that we hate everybody and we want the world to fall apart. We're all ultimately coming from a place of love. And I think that's where that connection can come from. When we realize that just because that person thinks differently than me doesn't mean they hate everything and they're bad people. It just means that they've been taught differently. And in order to change that, we need to not change it from guilt and shame and meanness, but from a place of love and understanding and connection. And through that, eventually we'll build up the layers where we can all come together, even with differences, even with different ideas. And instead of being challenging and mean and aggressive, we can work together to find the best ways forward for me, for you, for all of us. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we all want. Even though when we look at that other person, it doesn't seem like that's what they want. When people are calling me fat and ugly and horrible, it doesn't look like that's coming from a place of love. But deep down, everybody thinks they're doing the best thing. So the next step is just understanding that and taking out the divisions so that we can come from more of an open place, again, of working together and finding a common middle ground instead of saying, no, you're wrong and I'm right, and creating more division. So anyways, that's what it is. Basically, at the end of the day, other people's comments are their judgments on themselves, whether they're happy comments or sad comments. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with what is inside of you. And my goal is to add just that little bit of sparkle and show you how fabulous you can be no matter what. I can be fabulous fat, I can be fabulous thin, I can be fabulous whatever I'm doing. And so can you. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. Thank you for joining me. I love that you're here, and I love all your comments and your posts, because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people get to see what I'm saying, and the more that we can just bring about that little bit of change and that little bit of sparkle to other people's lives. So I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again next time.